watch when you are with the children or training people, if at all there is an injury. Effective diagnosis, treatment, rehabilitation is the most important for every injury, and explain why overuse injury occurs in certain individuals. I told you, because if you are born with knock knees, you cannot run fast. If you are born with flat foot, unless you correct these mechanical disorders, your capacity to run faster is not there. But if you are pushed on and on and on, you'll break down. Your hardware will just break down. So it's important to know all these factors. Now there are factors, risk factors for overuse. Overuse is again training the body part beyond the fitness. Okay? Training the body part beyond your fitness. And you train beyond that, your muscle energy finishes and you go into overuse. So there are intrinsic factors and extrinsic factors. Intrinsic related inside your body. Previous injuries, you were not properly healed from the previous injury and you go back to the training again after 4 months without getting a proper treatment for the old injury, you are vulnerable. Poor conditioning, that's why Coach Anand looks after. It trains your muscles which are involved in your sport. General build-up, if I do biceps, and I don't use this muscle in basketball, then there's no point training biceps. My tricep is important. Okay? It's my tricep which is important. Bicep is not important, but 90% of the time you go to the gym, you make good biceps, and that doesn't work in your sport. So depending on what sports you do, conditioning means train the sport-specific muscle to the maximum requirement of your game and your position you play. Endurance-wise, you have to different if you are a sprinter and if you are a striker. As a fullback or a half or a goalkeeper, your requirements are more towards flexibility, blocking, more strength than conditioning. Muscle imbalance. A tennis player, if you ask them to take their shirt off, you will see their right side, or if they're left-handed, the left side is bigger than the right. So muscle balance is important, and otherwise the joint translations and joint movements sometimes get affected, and it's important to train the groups around the muscle joints. Anatomical abnormalities within the body, I told you, flat foot, knock knees, other joint angles. It's a habit of parents normally when the child is born in the house that we pick them with one leg. That's the worst thing you can do to your children. Picking them up with one leg or pulling them on the sofa set or on the bed with one leg. They will have that problem when they grow up. The leg expansion and movement of the hip joint will definitely change in those children. They will have a biomechanical problem in future life. So never do that, or advise your children and all those you know not to do that. Always pick them with both hands and both legs, not one. Nutritional factors, people are not adequately eating. As I mentioned last time, that people think if you take a lot of meat, a lot of protein, you will have more muscle, strong muscle. It's not like that. You see the example of the Carabao. He never eats protein, but it's massive. Okay? So you should try to eat more carbohydrates for different sports and for endurance sport and for replenishing. Growth in children, again an intrinsic factor. This has to be considered when you are training them. You can't give the training of an adult to a child because this body is still soft, they are tighter than the adult, as I mentioned earlier. Extrinsic factor, use of improper footwear, I just said it, why it's important, sport specific, training error, abrupt increase in intensity, duration and frequency. We have talked about it, that the games are coming and the coach and the PE teachers want the children to just train to the maximum from day one. Just don't expect and don't try to do that. That's where the overuse come in, and I see a lot of people every year, or a lot of students come to me with shin pain, and shin pain is because of overuse. and that is people are pushing too much too quickly. They're increasing the intensity. Previous injuries, most reliable, dangerous thing in people, because most of the time they had a groin last season, they don't fix it, the flexibility go down, the muscle heals in a fibrous tissue which is non-elastic, and suddenly when they go back and start the new season, that same old injury crack again very fast, and they come off they continue with that injury throughout the season. So rehabilitation is very important to restore the function and relieve the symptoms. Poor conditioning, how important it is to go to the gym regularly to have a very healthy and a very appropriate body for your sport. Unfit athletes are more likely to injure, and I have one player just now in the treatment because there is no time for fitness. Mostly they crudge up and then they cannot go to gym, and that's why the body is not ready to face the requirement of the sport. And those people who are unfit, they get injured very early in the season and they continue with it. Their performance falls down immediately. So it's important to design an off-season strength and conditioning and flexibility program. When you are not required to, you should have another program, maybe mixing various sports, swimming, cycling, and other sport which is not your favorite one, to have a combination so that your conditioning continues. Fitness for one sport does not mean fitness for all. Okay? And this is the worst thing I have seen. We had a best tennis player in years that we developed. And one day he came back with 18 inches scar on his hand. And he was about to go to Australia to play for Arafura. I said, what happened? And he said, oh, I was doing rollerblading. And he had his blade on his hand. So be careful. Always advise people, if you are training for certain sport, then your preference should be to the sports which are closest to your sport. If you really want to enjoy multiple sports. Not that you are a badminton player and one day, oh, I want to do rugby for fun. No, there is no such thing for fun. The guy will kill you. So it's important to understand and make people understand this is not on. Because government people like you are putting your effort, time, energy, everything onto your subjects to groom them up to become good athletes. So it's their responsibility towards you and towards the country to give back what is expected of them. So they must understand that. Common in athletes, asymmetry is very common and it's due to the sport, because I always play tennis with the right. My muscles on the right are developing faster. So one should try to, and there are no machines in the past to train separately. My national cyclist, one of them has a weak left side, but he's a cyclist, so he cycles with both. But I don't know how to train the left side more than the right. Only recently HUR has created a machines for the gym, the whole range that is now available, where you can set up the left side different to the right side, and it's perfect. It's absolutely wonderful, and if we could have that gym next year, we have the money to buy, hopefully I'll do this next year, and that is what we need now, to fix this imbalance. Because for a cyclist, if only one leg is strong, how will he win ever? He will never win, because he's always concentrated on the right side. He will never train his left side. But by the look of it, by testing him in the gym or training him in the gym, he never makes use of his left side. He always tries to use his right side as a dominant. And he only plays right, so he cannot be improved. So something of that need to be kept in mind. And for certain sports where only one side is trained, like racket sports, you have to be careful in developing. Stresses due to imbalance, variety of overuse injuries, especially in sports involving running and endurance, will take place. Iliotibial is one thing. If you have tight muscle on the sides of your quadriceps, It will start rubbing on your knee, and then it can cause a lot of pain and unusual pain near the knee, which people think that it's a knee problem. Normally it's not. It's your iliotibial bursitis or just swelling because you have tight muscles. Simple tight muscles could cause that overuse injury in the knee. So if you have such problems which are coming late into your training, means that you are going into overuse. I also told you, if your